Alright, welcome to DRG. You guys haven't seen me in probably close to 2 years, those that do follow me. I kind of got fed up with the GoPro and got fed up with the editing software. I still haven't bought editing software, so this video is going to be unedited and chopped up. The High Boy, well, I put the motor in it and had to get pulled off of that project onto another project to make room for a car in the garage. And unfortunately that motor has sat for a year or two in the truck. It is in the truck. Had to cut the front bumper off to get it in there though. Is in the truck, it sat, and apparently I didn't lube it enough and I didn't stay caught up on rotating it, and it is now locked up. So that motor is going to have to come back out. I'm going to have to tear it all down again. So if you enjoyed the 460 build series, you're going to get to see it again as I take it apart and see where it locked up at. I've tried soaking it with acetone and ATF. It's been soaking for over a month and there's no movement whatsoever. It's just solid locked where it is, unfortunately. That's on me, rookie mistake. Shouldn't have put it in there, left it outside where condensation from the heat and winters and stuff like that, moisture got trapped in the motor and it probably rusted it solid. Hopefully I can save it. We'll find out when I tear it apart. Good news is I picked up another project recently, and this is why you're now seeing me on video. Well, you're not really seeing me, you are now. So in my previous videos you may have seen the Mustang, 66 Mustang that I've had, and the other bay in the garage was full of parts for the 66 Mustang. Told the wife to shop for wheels and tires for this 66 Mustang, and her selection of wheels and tires is to buy a 2020 Mustang. So yeah, my garage is a cluster. 2020 Mustang. So I had to get all the parts that were in that garage bay onto the car, most of it being interior. And then the motor on the High Boy is in. Ta-da! Problem is while I was spent a lot of time trying to figure out pulley brackets and pulleys and picking up a few other parts, let it sit for a while, got it in the end of summer, got pulled off of it to work on moving the parts to the garage, from the garage bay to park a car. To get into that Mustang, it sat a winter, and then I just haven't gotten to just never got back to the High Boy. Too many other projects. So for my birthday this year, I picked up a 71 Lincoln Continental Mark III. I've been watching this car on Facebook Marketplace for a long time. I've always kind of wanted one of these cars. I have no idea why. I don't know, big block leather interior, super Malaysia, nice big power torquey motors, 2-door instead of the 4-door. The 4-door Suicides are cool. I'm a 2-door guy for the most part. This thing's was on Marketplace for a while, and I hem and hawed over it, and they kept getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and it got to the point where price became too cheap for me to pass up. So it's a 71 Continental. It only has like 58,000 miles on it, or 59,000, or maybe it was 60. It's well under 75,000. It has been repainted once before, or at least parts of it, because I find signs of overspray. It's not perfect. It's got battle bar dings in it. Nice little whammy there back there with it. Looks like it has Bondo, been repaired, and then there's another whammy. It's got bubbles in the rear quarters. Vinyl top is good. It is a green on green car. It was cleaner, but it's been sitting outside for a while. Nice green interior. Unfortunately, the passenger side door has the window lift motor out of it and the regulator out of it, and the window's being held up by blocks of wood. But the dash on these things are really cool. It's got indicator lights up there. Underneath the back seat, and I have the sheet down under on the package tray is another little indicator light that you can see for the rearview mirror. So when little fiber optic line tells you when your brake lights are on, when your turn signals are on. Kind of cool. Auto dimming headlight, telescoping tilt wheel, automatic climate control, vacuum operated power locks. Wipers are actually power steering hydraulic, which is kind of interesting. This is the eye for the headlight, auto dimming headlights. So picked this up on my birthday back in October. Ran down, got it, brought it home. It smoked like a choo-choo, but it was cheap. Came with the Elder Brock Performer RPM intake manifold, brand new in the box. Came with a headset, brand new in the box. Came with a Pertronics points eliminator and coil. So it's like, I figured at the price point of this car, it ran and drive, it just smoked like a choo-choo on the right hand side or driver's side. That I figured I couldn't pass it up. I could sell the intake manifold, sell the Pertronics. It came with another 460 motor that was supposedly rebuilt, which I knew that from the pictures that was not true, but I didn't care. So I figured the spare motor, intake manifold, ignition parts, I pretty much had my money back, and then I could always park the car out because parts for this car are stupid expensive. Should have done a little research before that. That's all right. So I got the motor, or ran it, drove it up onto the trailer, so it moves, it runs, drives, and stops. Didn't run good, didn't stop. Well, it stopped all right. Didn't drive very good. A lot of it because there's a shit ton of vacuum underneath this car. So got it home, unloaded it, fired it up. A couple days later, got it moved to where it's currently sitting so I could work on it closer to the garage because I don't have space. So I can't lose the shop because I don't have a shop to lose. Though I am taking donations for building a shop, though. Nothing huge, but I don't need the Taj Mahal shops that some of these other guys have. So basically I got it up here, tinkered with it, fired it up, running, hoping that if I let it run longer, fresh gas in it, that the smoke would clear up. I could actually fill this whole entire hillside ravine. They would smoke this thing out, and it'd be like either a forest fire or some seriously dense fog. That's how bad this thing smoked. It smoked like a choo-choo train. So out of curiosity, I started with a compression test. So I pulled all the spark plugs out. What the carburetor was on it at the time, different intake manifold, the stock OE intake manifold. Blocked open I should have filmed all this stuff, but I find filming this stuff while working on it takes a lot longer, slows me down. Not that I'm fast by any stretch of the imagination, because I've been doing this since probably early November, working on this, and here we are February, and I still don't have it back together. Pulled the spark plugs, did a compression test. Started at 1, worked my way back to 1, 2, 3, 4. 190 to 210 on all 4 of these over here. I'm like, all right, that's actually pretty impressive. Good compression. Number 5, 50 psi. 6 and 7 in the middle, 200, 210. Number 8, 0. All right, well, this side is the side that smokes. The compression test shows me I have some issues. Pulled the valve covers off, checked rockers. Intake rocker over here was loose, so loosen up the rocker, pull the rocker arm off, pull the push rod out, and the push rod has a nice bend in it. All right, fine. Well, good thing is that spare motor came in handy, so I went over to the spare motor, popped the valve cover, loosened up a rocker, pulled out a push rod, threw it back in there, tightened it up, did a compression test again, and I went from 50 psi to like 190, 195, 200 area. Get to the back, number 8, push rod, or the rocker's loose. Okay, push rod. Well, it's MIA. It's missing. It's gone. It's not in there. So I don't know if someone was in there, took it out because the cylinder is bad. Well, come later, a little bit further in the story when I get to it, the push rod was in there, but it fell into the lifter valley underneath the intake manifold. Go back to the spare motor, pull another push rod out, throw another push rod in there, throw it in there, tighten it down, bottom out the adjustment, and it's got slop in it, like the lifter's collapsed. The lifter has a plunger in it that is operated by the hydraulic or engine oil, and it works like a hydraulic plunger that take up the slack and the valve train. So when they get dirty or get debris in them, sometimes they'll be down in the down position, and the dirt and debris clogs it and won't allow it to pump back up. That's what I was hoping was the case, and so I quartered ATF, ran the motor with hoping the ATF would work it free. It never did. So at that point, I knew the intake manifold had to come off. Well, the car came with a headset. The guy told me it was intake manifold gaskets when I bought it, but it turned out to be a headset. So out of precaution, since I was going to pull the intake manifold off, I decided I'll go ahead and put the headset in. So I pulled the cylinder heads. Got the intake manifold off, found my missing push rod. I'll attach a picture to this video. I should probably pay attention to the camera because you're probably staring at the bottom of a hood, and that's not very good video. I'll attach a picture of the push rod. It was S-shaped, and it was bad. And then in the lifter valley next to the push rod is parts of the lifter. So not only was the lifter collapsed, I'm guessing when the push rod bent, it hit the lifter just right that it released the metal spring, and the plunger and everything popped out of it, and it was laying in the lifter valley. I tried putting it back together, but it's actually missing some pieces. It's missing a check valve, and it was missing the little other spring in that parts of inside the lifter. So I went and grabbed a lifter out of my spare motor, cleaned it up really good, oiled it up, engine assembly lube, throw it back in there just to see what would happen. Put the lifter push rod in there, adjusted the valve, did a compression test, and now I have... That's actually one of my better ones at 200. One of these is crazy. It's bringing all the power. It's bringing all the power to the party. It's like 225, 230. It was a little bit higher than everybody else on this side over here. So I now have, and then I then took the heads off and disassembled them, cleaned them, and then actually hand lapped the valves. You've seen my 460. Well, some of you, or those of you who have viewed my channel, have seen the 460 video. This is another 460. Basically, I did the same thing. Compressed the spring, took it apart, took the valve out, cleaned all the carbon off of it, put some valve grinding compound in it, chucked it back up in the drill, and then drilled it, and then blew air into the cylinders from the intake and the exhaust side, depending on which valve I was testing, with some soapy water to check for bubbles and make sure there was got all the polishing compound, lapping compound out of the valve and the valve seats, and they were sealing correctly. Put it all back together. That back head bolt on that passenger side is a pain in the ass with a heater control box. I don't recommend doing this. You think a Lincoln, lots of room underneath the hood? Yeah, no. Got it all back together, did another compression test, and everything is actually well balanced. They're all within 10% of each other. So we're doing good through the intake manifold on. Since I had it this far apart, I decided to take the timing chain cover off and do the timing cover. As you can see, I'm painting it and I'm being weird, doing weird colors. I figured, hey, the car's already triple green. Let me get a green motor. So Ford flathead green, and then just some cool hunter green. So and I apologize for the camera on this. So I got the timing cover off. I currently have slack or tension on the crank the crankshaft. So tension on it going clockwise puts tension on the driver's side of the chain, and it's pretty taut. Over here though, I'm pretty sure that's not within spec. See, 71 Ford back in 71 was really cool. They actually had variable valve timing. They had the VVT way before Toyota and Honda and everybody. So if I rotate it counterclockwise, put all the slack on this side, I take the tautness out, and it's got a little bit. And now the slack on this side. So if I kind of put it back into a neutral position. Well, that's not quite neutral. I got a little more slack on it. And I'm going to loosen up the bolt. So let's tighten that up a little bit. Let's see if I can back it off. There we go. Now we're in a loose position. And maybe not as equally loose in a neutral tension, but pretty sure that's no bueno. So I have a timing set. I just went with another stock one, non-roller. This is just the regular stock type replacement. Either this thing has lost all the nylon coating on it, on the cam gear, because normally for Ford, OE Ford, the teeth would have been nylon coated. It had plastic on it basically. And for quietness, nobody wants to hear their motor. And either the nylon's all gone and somewhere in the bottom of my oil pan, or somebody's been in here. I'll find out later or find out in a minute when I take this all apart and see if I can find see if there's Ford part numbers on it. And I think if you want, I can go show you the rebuilt with 1,500 mile 460 that came with the car. 429. Came with the spare motor that came with the Highboy. Yes, the Falcon's still buried under crap. It does have new interior in it though. So I'm going to go on a limb and say that timing set's been changed, because this is the OE Ford one from this one, Ford part number right here, 70 timing set, and this is the nylon teeth that I'm talking about. Also a silent type timing chain. Also has a cool variable timing. And here's my push rods. I saved them. So I think this was number 8, and I've actually tried straightening it for giggles. So warmed it up, heated it up, smacked it in between two boards. Wasn't having good luck. Or maybe this was number 8 and that was number 5. Or no, that was number 5. Number 5 was right here, bent, but still able to open the valve somewhat. I think this one was number 5, the first replacement. I dropped it in there, didn't have it in quite right, cranked the motor over and tacoed it. This was number 8, that was inside the intake manifold, missing from inside the engine, missing. It was bent further down here, and you can see where I mark on it from, well, maybe not, mark on it from trying to straighten it. This is the damaged lifter. Yeah, I saved all the parts. Weird. You can see where the wire clip in here. Maybe. There you go, kinda. It's blurry. And the wire clip in there. And then the side of the lifter over here where is missing the edge or the ledge to help keep that clip in there. So I'm thinking the lifter was collapsed. This car sat for a while. Somebody else got it fired up, and when they went and fired it up, I think it tacoed a bunch of valve spring, or tacoed a couple push rods. But this push rod bounced around, damaged the lifter. The keeper popped out, and then all the pieces, internal pieces inside this lifter, were laying up here, because it was this one back here, and the pieces were laying up in here, and the shell and the I think the plunger were in there. So when I put a push rod in here, the push rod would fall way down into the body of the lifter. It's still right up and down, but it wasn't long enough to make the rocker do rocker things. So this is where I'm at for now. Figured I'd give you a little update. I probably won't edit this video. It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be ugly. It's not going to have my, the logo and everything. I'll probably do some updates on this. I'm going to finish cleaning up the block a little bit. This is Craigslist rebuilt. I just happened to lose the receipts. Plans for this car. Once the engine's good and it's running and driving, I'll go through the brakes, maybe update the suspension, put new tires on it, because I'm sure these things are older than, well, they're old, I'm sure. Interior is pretty clean. I'm going to have to go in and get the window regulator and lift motor in, and then so I could get that door to open and close, and then I got to go through and figure out electronics. The window relay that's usually up on the firewall was disassembled, and it's probably in here. Yeah, it's right down there. In there, I'm gonna have to. I don't think they're available anymore. I'm gonna have to see if I could kind of retrofit something to make a relay work, and then switches. This is like the worst of the interior right there, and a little bit of wear right down here. And, well, a button's missing. Or a couple buttons. But the interior is really, really clean. Odometer is 59,924. I'm pretty sure that hasn't rolled over. And more fun. Yay, look at all the little electrical fuses all pulled out of the fuse box, light bulbs, relayed to something. I'll figure it out. So cruise control, this switch is broken, goes up here. That's a light. Button on the end is your actuator. Automatic temperature control, basically high, low, off, defrog, de-ice. Set your temperature, which unfortunately doesn't seem to be. If there's an indicator in there or a needle in there, it's gone. So I'll have to figure that out. Headlight switch. Dimmer for the auto dimmer. You could actually program far, near, off. Cool 8-track. And guess what I have? A bunch of 8-tracks. Yeah, I got into radios for a while. Played with radios and did restorations on AM, FM radios. 8-tracks. I'm thinking map light. Looks like I'm missing a switch here, so I'll figure this all out at some point. Cool overhead indicator lights. One for seatbelt, door jar. Headlights, like I need a light to tell me my headlights are on. And then a trunk light, kind of cool. But yeah, better light green because there's a lot of it. Cool Sure track brakes. Electric power seats, though the switches are kind of MIA. This is electric, like electric tilt. Boop. These windows slide back into the roof pillar instead of down. They go that way. cool light switches in the back on the one for the window, one for the rear light back there. Came with some 8-tracks, actually. I forgot about that. Yeah, the car even came with 8 tracks. She ain't perfect, but I didn't want perfect. Just wanted a cruiser. I have new tail lights. This lens isn't bad, but the metal trim piece is broken here. Missing a piece of chrome trim here. This is broken here, but the lens is pretty good. This side's uglier than the other side. There's my bubbles in the rust. Headliner's pretty cool. It's not even a well, it is a vinyl top, but it's like a woven style vinyl top. You can see the texture instead of the regular grain texture. It'll actually clean up really good. I did a test sample with some vinyl cleaner. It's not perfect. It has some little holes in it. This is a test sample. It's been sitting here out in the elements with rain, snow, and whatnot, where I cleaned it up and then put a little vinyl top dressing on it. You can see it's a little bit darker, not as faded. It brought the color back. It's just going to be time consuming to wash the roof, get all the crap out of here. Wash the roof multiple times to try to get all the dirt and debris and contaminants out of it, and then polish it up, dress it up. I do need a passenger side lens on the front for the turn signal. They do make reproductions, and I'm sure the quality's great, but a little rich for my blood. I can't see spending what the guy wants for reproductions. Also, I'll find some used ones somewhere, though I've been contemplating. So this car is built on the 69 T-board platform, and I'm wondering if like a T-bird lens or a light assembly would fit in here and not look out of place, or maybe even do a later 73 4.5 lamp in there, because I think the 75 versions are similar shape, but they have cool chrome bars that go all the way across. Why not? Can't have enough chrome, right? Chrome will get you home. So plans are just a cruiser. I'll clean it up, polish the paint, which I did here. I did this section of the fender already. That's why it beads up. I hit it with a quick buffer after I power washed it. It'll clean up really nice. It'll actually bring back and actually have a shine, and it'll hold the shine actually. So this will clean up. Maybe someday down the road I'll patch quarter panels. But figure fresh set of white wall tires. Try to find the correct hubcaps. I like this style than what's supposed to be on here. The 71 Lincoln Continental hubcaps are fin like this, but a big ginormous chrome center section. This is an earlier style, like 68, 69, 70, but these are actually Ford hubcaps with the Ford crest in them in the red. They aren't black with the Lincoln logo. I'll try to find them. I might find a correct set of 68, 69, or 70-ish turbine type spokes, or maybe even find some turbine wheels. It's got to be like 100 spoke though, turbine wheels. Well, that's where I'm going to leave you guys for now. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry this is an ugly video. Maybe I'll go in and edit it. I don't know. I kind of need to find some new editing software. I still got my GoPro. I'll still use. I'm hoping to get back into this. Got busy. Car shows. Got busy. Got the 2020 Mustang. Did a season of car shows, so didn't spend a lot of time wrenching. Still have the 66 F100 back there. it needs a steering box. My death wobble is actually coming from the steering box. I think the lower worm gear bearing is gone. I noticed that the last summer when I drove it. It hasn't been driven as much as I would like it to because, well, I need a steering box. Redhead makes a steering box for it, but it's spendy and just hasn't been a priority. Too many projects, not enough time, definitely not enough money. Well, so thanks for watching. I'll catch you in another time. I'll update you. I'll maybe edit this a little bit, add some videos or pictures, though you did get the push rods, so I don't have to really add those in later. And I'm going to get back to work on putting in this timing set, putting the timing cover, new water pump on it, and trying to get this all back together. I have a new carburetor for it. I'm going to try to reroute the vacuum lines and hide them all in the back of the motor instead of a ton of them that were there. So this motor had a vacuum fitting on the front that fed a bunch of vacuum lines, and then it had another vacuum fitting on the rear that fed a bunch of other vacuum lines. This thing is vacuum crazy, but part of it's the headlight system, part of it's the door locks, cruise controls vacuum. Wipers were power steering, obviously vacuum operated power brakes. Somebody's already deleted the emissions on this. So, yep, I will get back to work on this. Next time I update you, maybe I'll have the engine all back together and show you guys a picture of it running. I imagine it's probably still going to smoke like a choo-choo train for a while till it clears off what's in the exhaust. This car needs exhaust work. It's got two sets of, well, it's got resignators and mufflers, and I think the resignators are what's behind the rear wheels. The passenger side resignator is Bluetooth. It's got Bluetooth exhaust. So as bad as this exhaust is, the car actually sounds really good. So I will eventually, before I start driving, obviously get this car up in the air and clean the exhaust off and delete what might fall off, and then repair it from there. Thanks for watching.